And that's how I look at it. What makes him get more respect than me? You my next door neighbor, you know what I tell him? You got yours from your family. I got mine from the ground up, from hard work and dedication.
Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy. He's just a savant. He's just something special, no question about it. But I gotta look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world.
Do it. Floyd's way is safe. Not in a punk, but it's like the safe way, like nothing ain't gonna go wrong. But that's how he fight. That's his characteristic.
Floyd Mayweather lashes out after Stephen A. Smith questions his legacy and claims that Terence Crawford could defeat him. Stephen A. argues that Mayweather is not the greatest fighter of all time, as he often claims and believes. Sugar Ray Leonard was much better. He also points out that Floyd's most significant victories happened at lightweight, and that he was not as dominant in the higher weight classes. In addition, Smith plays down the Canelo-Alvarez fight, saying it was not particularly impressive, which triggers a strong reaction from Mayweather, who's not willing to stay silent in the face of such criticism.
It's not just about your skill set. It's who you do it against.
Your level of competition. Is it possible that he's so far beyond his level of competition that he made it look easy?
Well, I think he did as a lightweight. When he went up to the welterweight division, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
taking out Canelo the way he took out.
Well, he just gave him a boxing lesson, but Canelo was 22 years old. See, I remember
That's an excuse, though. I don't like this, like he's 22, he's too young.
I will tell you this. Well, you know, you do have to take that into consideration.
The guy had 100 fights.
Well, let me explain. You have to take that into consideration when boxing is the issue. Now, if he got knocked on his ass, that's different. But when he simply got schooled, when you swinging a punch and Floyd is tapping you on your shoulder saying, I'm behind you, that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a skill, like, you know,
we could credit Floyd with that.
Of course, I am crediting. I'm saying he's a brilliant boxer. You know, Floyd knew how to move before you even threw the damn punch. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be a veteran to know how to overcome that. You can't put a novice into the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather. You understand? He's going to school you. What I'm saying to you is that if you want to make an argument on Floyd Money Mayweather's half, which I'm not summarily dismissing, I would tell you it's this. Floyd Money Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Dawood Bey shared a thoughtful perspective while comparing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, especially after Crawford's recent performance against Canelo Alvarez. Although he admitted that, as a fan, he slightly favored Crawford in a hypothetical fight. He also emphasized the importance of keeping the comparison fair. Crawford's victory over Canelo was a remarkable feat, and many were quick to claim it surpassed anything Floyd had accomplished. Still, Bey pointed out that Mayweather had already beaten Canelo and did so at a time when Canelo was still developing as a boxer. He highlighted that it's unfair to downplay Floyd's legacy just to boost Crawford, since both fighters contributed something special to boxing. In Bey's view, the reality is more balanced. Crawford deserves praise for how he handled Canelo, but Mayweather's win was just as significant and should not be forgotten.
That Bud goes about it a little bit better than Floyd in this sense. Floyd will, like, when Floyd fought Canelo, he was standing right there. He wasn't running and all of that. He wasn't doing all of the stuff that they say, oh, a runner, Mayweather's a runner. He wasn't doing that versus Canelo. He was right there. And I can't even really remember Canelo catching him like that, like with nothing. With Bud, I could remember Canelo catching Bud a couple times, but Bud, like, gave him the, all right, put your foot out. What's up? Boxing turn, boxing turn, boxing turn. Like, and was like really standing there and like giving it to him with another type of energy. It was, the energy is more so like, all right, what's up? Like, you can't beat me. Floyd energy be like, bop, bop, I'm better than you. You see what I'm saying? They don't really be respecting that all the time. They'll acknowledge it like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, he hard to catch. But they be like, nah, you didn't beat me up. Bud go about his fights in a way where as though the Mexican fan base gotta be like, I ain't gonna lie, Canelo, he hollered at you. Like, he came at you too. He didn't just be better than you. He was better, and then he was like, all right, I'm gonna come at you. And I think they really respect that. Shit, I respect it. I don't think it's not, I think the less you get hit, the better. I'm always gonna take it that way. So, you know what I'm saying? As a boxing fan, the kind of boxing fan that I am, I would have linked towards Floyd's performance But Bud's performance was like, if I'm a casual fan, I'd rather watch the way Bud do it.
Trainer Buse Ennis spoke with strong conviction about Terence Crawford's place in the boxing world. He addressed those who doubt Crawford's accomplishments, saying the fighter has repeatedly shown he belongs among the greatest of his generation. Ennis praised Crawford's willingness to take on tough challenges, regardless of the opponent, and pointed out that he never avoided high-risk matchups. According to him, Crawford performs best when the stakes are high, and that quality sets him apart from many others in the sport today. By consistently testing himself against top-level competition, Crawford earned his spot among the sport's elite. Ennis emphasized that instead of downplaying what Crawford has done, people should acknowledge that very few fighters in history have matched his mix of skill, courage, and success.
I think he could have got the stoppage. He'll tell you that if he had to sit down a little bit more. But I tell you, Terence can fight and he can box. And he can fight. He'll fight this side. He take chances, man. You know what I mean? And that's how you be great, man. And he one of the greatest out there now. I think he's great. I think he's the best out there right now in that division. You know what I mean?
What's left?
For Terence?
Yeah.
If I was Terence, I would retire. That's what I would do. He did everything, man. He done everything, man. You know what I mean? Look how many titles he done won. All that stuff, you know what I mean? I think I'll go off one in the sunset, man. You know what I mean? You don't need no more money. You know what I mean?
Crawford's longtime trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre believes his fighter still has a few major moments ahead. He mentioned that Crawford could possibly take on 2 or 3 more bouts before thinking about retiring. Bomac talked about a potential move up to 160 pounds, saying it would be about more than just collecting belts and would instead focus on building a legacy that is already worthy of the Hall of Fame. He stated that Crawford has already made history with his incredible wins and by becoming undisputed in multiple weight divisions. Still, the idea of capturing more titles in higher weight classes brings excitement to both the team and fans. Bomac made it clear that Crawford is no longer looking for approval from others and is now focused on locking in his place among boxing's all-time greats by chasing challenges that only legends even consider.
The second time. They can't take it away from him neither.
Does this one mean more to you than the other ones?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity as a team to go into the Hall of Fame. Instead of a fighter going in there, instead of a coach going in there, it gives us a better chance of going there as a team.
Well, congrats on that. I know that means a lot to you and the team.
Definitely that.
You know, I asked Bud this after the fight 2 weeks ago. Would he consider this his signature win? He said, yeah, one of them. Do you think that was his signature win of his career?
Well, the last fight?
Yeah, the Canelo one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the underdog. Everybody thought that, you know, he was going to get beat.
What's up?
That he was going to get beat. It surprised me.
So what's next for Bud? What do you want to see him do?
I just want to see him, you know, spend time with his family because, you know, training for a fight, you be gone a long time. You're going away from your family. And it could take a toll on you after a while. So,
as his trainer, do you feel like you should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
you know what? They made it look so easy. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2-3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Timothy Bradley spoke with deep emotion about the impact Terence Crawford has had on the sport. He explained that many young fighters deal with self-doubt, especially when their progress is questioned by critics. But Crawford became living proof of what can be achieved through persistence and strong will. Even when many questioned him early on, Crawford continued to silence critics with powerful performances in the ring. Bradley pointed out that Crawford's journey has turned him into a symbol of hope for the next generation, showing that what once seemed out of reach is actually possible as he became an undisputed champion across multiple weight classes. For Bradley, Crawford stands for more than just winning. He stands for belief, bravery, and the idea that relentless effort can overcome any obstacle. Today, young fighters see him not only as a champion, but also as a true role model who never gave up.
And the man that you have become, you're a true inspiration to the youth, man. Anybody that's troubled, any troubled kid out there, man, they can look at you and say, hey, man, I got a fighting chance to get myself out the situation. All I got to do is make that choice. That's what you did, Crawford. You made that choice, man. You made that choice to change, bruh. You know, you saw going down, man, years ago, man, in 2008, man, when that bullet came through that window, you knew you had to do something or you'll end up 6 feet under, bruh. You know, so that courage that you had, man, and that will that you had and that mindset of change, man, and the gym, you know, grooming you and turning you into a man, because that's what boxing does. See, people don't understand, man, that boxing is more than just throwing punches. You know, boxing teaches you discipline. You know, it teaches you love for people, love for others, man. You know, working together. You know, you're there constantly every single day, man. You know, spending time there perfecting a craft, man. Perfecting yourself, understanding yourself, learning more about yourself each and every single day. You push it inside the gym. You know, boxing is more than just throwing punches, man. You know,
Floyd Mayweather's rise went far beyond the sport of boxing. As Oladipo explained, Mayweather crafted two distinct identities. Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather, each capturing the public's attention in different ways. In the early stages of his career, Pretty Boy Floyd was known for taking bold risks and delivering stunning knockouts. Later, he evolved into Money Mayweather, a strategic and business-minded figure who mastered defense and transformed his fight into a major global event. His unmatched success on pay-per-view and his marketing skills made him a larger-than-life figure. Oladipo praised Floyd not just for his brilliance inside the ring, but also for building a business model that many fighters today try to follow. By combining skill with showmanship, Floyd became more than just a champion. He became a cultural icon and a key figure in shaping boxing's modern financial landscape.
I'm sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm gonna work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm gonna work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right?
Even after Crawford's impressive win over Canelo, discussions have sparked about what his next move should be. Some insiders, including people from his own camp, believe he should retire now to protect the legacy he has built. Supporters feel that Crawford has already reached legendary status and has nothing left to prove. On the other hand, some voices in the boxing world continue to question his achievements, suggesting he should walk away before his image begins to fade. This ongoing debate has caused division since many still see Crawford as a fighter with much more to give. His recent outings show no signs of decline, and fans are eager to see him face more top-level opponents. Retirement remains an option, but regardless of what he decides, his place in boxing history is already secured. No one can take away what he has accomplished.
The fact that Terence Crawford did what he did against Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford made himself the face of boxing, and he made it look easy. He made the Errol Spence fight look easy. That was supposed to be the toughest test of his career. I thought it was. The whole world thought it was. It was the easiest fight he had at welterweight. I thought, but I've been saying for years that he's gonna easily beat Canelo Alvarez, and he did. But many people expected Canelo to knock him out. That wasn't the case. With that said, now people are trying to throw, he's 38. Tomorrow, Terence Crawford will be 38 years old. He's a 5-division champion. If he wants to stick around, like Terence Crawford stated, okay, Terence Crawford stated, if I do stick around, I'm not dropping down no further than 160 pounds. If he stays in boxing, I say he have 2 more fights. Fight Janibek, who's the unified champion. Hopefully call Sadamas and Lara fight and unify the belts. 2 fights at 160, pad the stats, become a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion. Cool. Other than that, Terence Crawford needs to retire.
Trainer Robert Garcia shared his thoughts on the ongoing Mayweather versus Crawford debate. He reminded fans that although Mayweather's record and overall success are unmatched, he was never an undisputed champion, unlike both Crawford and Pacquiao. Garcia recognized that Crawford's accomplishments in that area carry real historical weight. However, when it comes to a direct comparison, he still gives the edge to Mayweather. He explained that Floyd's defensive skills, sharp timing, and high ring IQ would be difficult for even someone as talented as Crawford to handle. In Garcia's view, Mayweather's ability to shut down opponents is what makes him truly special and a nightmare to fight. While he has great respect for what Crawford has done, Garcia believes that Mayweather's flawless fundamentals and strategic brilliance place him a level above nearly everyone else, including the top fighters of today.
Man, he doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions, undisputed, is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? And not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more than Pacquiao was 8 divisions, so we have to, we could argue there because Pacquiao was, 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5-division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
Greg Hackett added another perspective to the debate by comparing Floyd Mayweather's fight against Canelo to Crawford's performance. He pointed out that when Floyd faced Canelo, he was already a fully developed fighter with unmatched precision and calmness. Hackett noted that Crawford's style is more aggressive and is focused on adapting, but doesn't show the flawless consistency that Floyd maintained over 12 rounds. He highlighted that Mayweather's defensive skill and control of the ring remain unequaled in boxing history. Although Hackett respects what Crawford has done, he believes Mayweather's dominance was on a completely different level. For him, Crawford's explosive power is impressive, but Floyd's calculated brilliance in his fight with Canelo was closer to perfection. Meanwhile, Stephen A. Smith praised Crawford's victory over Canelo, calling it one of the most exciting performances in recent years. He mentioned that Crawford was the smaller fighter moving up in weight against a bigger and stronger opponent, yet made the fight look one-sided. Smith applauded Crawford not just for his skill, but for giving fans an unforgettable show. According to him, boxing needs fighters like Crawford who combine technical ability with entertainment, and he believes Crawford's display proved he is both a great champion and an entertainer capable of advancing the sport by creating thrilling moments inside the ring.
But the biggest props of the night goes to Terence Crawford, who did not disappoint. He was supposed to be the smaller man. He was supposed to be the weaker man. He was supposed to be the man that was going to spend the entire night on his bicycle, running for his damn life because Saul Canelo Alvarez was coming his way. That is not what happened. What happened instead, ladies and gentlemen, was a masterclass in boxing by Terence Crawford. Now, to me, the fight, some people were saying it was just severely lopsided and stuff like that. I'm not going for that. I'm not feeling that at all. It wasn't like that at all, okay?
Veteran journalist Dan Raphael looked at Crawford's career from a long-term view. He argued that Crawford no longer has to prove his place in boxing history because his achievements speak for themselves. Being undisputed in multiple weight classes with wins over top opponents and a reputation for dominance, Raphael said the focus should now shift from proving himself to preserving his legacy. Continuing to seek unnecessary fights could put at risk what Crawford has already accomplished. Instead, Rafael believes Crawford deserves to enjoy the respect that comes with being one of the sport's greatest. His record, full of historic accomplishments, is enough to guarantee he will be remembered as a legend, whether he chooses to keep fighting or retire now.
You'd expect, but he stood in the pocket, like he's not moving anywhere from him. He's using his head moving, he's not being stupid, but he's not necessarily moving away from Canelo. Like you said, he's walking the, quote unquote, bigger man down and forcing the action rather than going off, reacting to Canelo's attacks. So I think it was such an impressive display. But it sort of begs the question now, when you've a 3-time undisputed champion, and I know money's important, financials, we always talk about that. His legacy is intact regardless. We'll start with Terence. What does a Terence Crawford do now? Like, what's the next thing that he does? Because you look around and go, is the only way that he really gets that ultimate chance if he goes up again? And do you say, what do you do?
I don't quite. Yeah, I mean, he was asked those questions at the press conference. He made two things clear. One, he's not going back to 154, and I say that because some people suggested about possibly pursuing a fight with Ennis, who has his debut in the weight class coming up.
Yeah.
That's probably unlikely. He's not going to go back down in weight. And I mean, no disrespect to Ennis, but Ennis is a guy that's known within the diehards of boxing. He's not in any way known beyond the boundaries of the hardcore boxing fan. So I don't know if that makes sense for a lot of different reasons for him. Not to say I wouldn't, as a boxing fan, enjoy watching the fight. So, but I don't think he's going back to 154. He was asked about like a Benavides at 175, and he acknowledged like that guy's really big. I mean, that's maybe a bridge too far. He already went up to 2 weight classes to fight Canelo at 68. So it feels to me like he can either stay at 168 and defend this championship and look to the same types of names that were being thrown around as the types of guys that would have been in the mix for Canelo had he won the fight. And
that's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Until next time, take care.